What's up, everybody? It's Kyle with another episode of Unlocking Your Inner Strength. Sitting here in the garage. You might be able to hear the box fan behind me, old school. And it's sitting on our freezer. Not my ice tub, our regular box freezer. Blowing some nice warm summer air on me, but it feels good. Now, today what I want to talk to you about is getting very clear on your core values and your definitions in life. This is not necessarily a sexy topic or something that people want to hear about because it's work and it makes you think. And thinking sometimes can be very energy consuming. But that's what separates us from the animals, right? Our ability to think and to put stuff into actions, thoughts, words, and actions. Right? That's how you create something. So we actually, this past weekend, took the time, Devin and I, on Sunday, probably like 6 o'clock, right before dinner, outside having a beer. We had planned on doing this. We developed our family core values. And when two of my buddies that are very successful, which obviously shouldn't surprise you, being that, well, I got this idea from them. When they first told me they were kind of running their families like they run the company with core values, weekly meetings, what I thought was a little extreme, a little too much. But man, was I wrong. Because having your core values, knowing that a common language that you can all speak, and knowing what's exactly expected of you and what gets you excited, and then just having, and I'll share those core values with you in a minute. That's not the main point of this, but maybe that'll spur some action in your head, some thought in your head, I should say. It's knowing what they mean to you, these core values. What is the definition of those things? And having values to live by. Most people have values, but they're under the surface. They don't, or I should say, that they couldn't necessarily verbalize them to you if you put them on the spot. They would have trouble thinking of them, maybe. But their actions dictate their values. And when you have values, life is much easier to live because it guides your decision making. There's a very clear path when you have values. And having values and principles in your life is critical, in my opinion, because that gives you a rich life when you have your own philosophy of life. Right? When you have your own philosophy of how life should be lived, what is a life well lived, what gives your life meaning. That's really the sign of somebody that is a serious student of life and somebody that's thirsty for knowledge and growth. So before we go over definitions, I will tell you what we came up with, and we're still working out some of the definitions of this officially. But our 5 core values as the Newell family is something we term shark habits, which I'll go over in a second. Stay strong. Respect your house, have fun, and be a good Samaritan. Now, there's bullet points under each of those things, which are the definition of what that means to be a good Samaritan, what it means to practice shark habits. So shark habits for us, and it meant something different when Devin and I first heard it from this guy, Dan John, who's a brilliant mind, and it was really the idea of, if you have something, a shark habit, if you got some dishes you got to wash, do them right now, don't wait. If you got to make a phone call, do it sooner rather than later. Like, don't wait, don't put stuff off, right? If something can be done now, do it now, get it cleared off your plate. So that's kind of a little piece of it, but for us, the shark habits represent perseverance, discipline, communication, thinking outside the box, and patience. And the discipline one will be kind of what Dan John was referring to, but we made this our own. We came up with our own definition for this, which means we're very clear on how to reach out. If you don't have a definition for anything in your life, you're not going to be able to hit those marks or achieve whatever it is you're after. Like, if you don't know what success means, then good luck. How are you going to be successful? How are you going to know when you're successful? So once again, those 5 core values, we're getting this made into a poster. Devin already wrote it up on the big mirror up in the dining room with my mom used to write on the mirrors with lipstick, but Devin had like a mirror marker or whatever. So it's already up. We took action on it right away. We already started talking to the kids about this. We're using this language already. Again, it's shark habits, stay strong, respect for your house, have fun, and be a good Samaritan. Now, the second piece of this, the last couple minutes, what I want to ask you is, what is your definition of fitness? Define fitness. If I tell you, what does fitness mean to you? You might say, oh, being healthy. Well, what does being healthy mean? List out some things. And I'm going to tell you what my definition of fitness is, because this is very, very empowering, even when it could keep you off of a bad path. Let me explain that. Way back when, 2014, when I did my last bodybuilding shows, I worked with my therapist that I was seeing at the time, Margaret Chan, who was great, about developing my own definitions of fitness, which I got from the mind mapping, studies that I've done. I brought the idea to her, and she loved it, and we went over it. I came up with things like, being strong, being mentally sharp, having great endurance, not being in pain, blah, blah, blah. So the list went on, right? But there was nothing about how I looked in there as far as being ripped, because at that time I knew the bodybuilding show could put me into a bad place after the fact, with just body image issues and whatnot. And the few times that that's happened, or has happened throughout the years since, when I feel myself being pulled back to that way of thinking, I remind myself and I go over my definition of fitness. And nowhere on that list is what my body fat is. So I'm very clear on it. But I think if I didn't take the time to develop my own definition of fitness, what would happen? I would go to the default. And most people, that's lose weight, no matter what you feel. Right? Nowadays, fitness to me is really just developing my mind and my body throughout the day, consistently and with passion, all so I can live life on my terms. And that's really the literal definition of fitness, is the ability to do the task at hand. Right? So you can use that with musicians, with writers, but I'm looking at life in general. So I'm very clear now, and it's a process, right? It unfolds. Fitness is not to be viewed, in my humble but accurate opinion, is not to be viewed as an event. It should be a process that is ongoing, that is continual, that you're always trying to figure out. You're always trying to figure it out. You're always adding to things. You're evolving as you go. And with that, if you know fitness is going to make you better, why would you not do it more often? Now, I'm not talking about a formal workout in the gym. That's part of your fitness routine. I'm talking about, why don't you sprinkle in 5 minutes here and there? Why don't you do some push-ups in the middle of the day? Why don't you, I just went on the trampoline for 2 minutes on one of my work breaks. I'll go back into the ice tub for 2 or 3 minutes before I head in to train a client or two. Constantly working on fitness. Now, fitness doesn't have to mean contracting and doing formal exercise either. Like I mentioned, the ice tub, reading, that's a huge thing with fitness for me. My mental fitness, praying, visualizing, all these things are very, very empowering to me, but they all go into making me a more fit human being. So those are two things I recommend that you take seriously and that you approach, as far as what is your core values. If you have a family, you might want to think about that, because I can guarantee you the family's going to run a lot smoother, the household's going to run a lot smoother. What are the values you're living by, and what is your definition of fitness, and then other things too, success, happiness. Know what you are after so you can go get it. Don't be the blind man walking around in pitch black with no direction. That's what I got for you today. If you're listening to this, definitely keep an eye out. We have muscle camp starting at the end of August. First time we've done that. I'm writing the curriculum right after this, and the workouts are going to be off the chains, but it's not for the mentally weak, and it's only for those people that want to gain between 4 and 6 pounds of muscle in 6 weeks. It can be incredibly hard, but it can be done. And keep your eyes out for all the other cool things we got coming your way from Dual Strength. Thanks for all the support. Make sure, if you can, leave me a review on iTunes. That helps me out a lot. And I might start doing some prizes where I read the reviews, and the one that people like the best, I'll send you some swag or something along those lines. So that's coming. But again, thanks for the support. Much appreciate you. Later, guys.